Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this young, beautiful lady next to me is wonderful, and she does a little bit of talent search and kind of helping the new talent to find the castings and find the gigs, whether musicians or models or other performers. Let's find out what is the key? How do you start in that business? Like how to become entrepreneur and do this kind of business for a living?
Okay, so networking is key. That's how I pretty much
I'll
built
leave it
myself.
for you.
Okay, networking is key. I dedicated the first, I would say, 10 years to my life just networking. And then the next step was building your credibility.
Okay.
Finding people to believe in your craft the same way. So I hounded in on something. So I first picked choreography. So then I took it from choreography, started booking gigs, gaining revenue. And with choreography, I needed dancers. Okay, then let's go down the line. Then all of a sudden I started directing. Directing, I needed actors and models as well. So as I call it a level up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Every time, every gig that I have, I try to level up. I gain more and I do more, and that's eventually how you build your business. It'll flourish in front of you. So I definitely would say networking is key. I would say that building your brand and your credibility,
Do you think the nowadays with the Instagram and Facebook and all this social media networking in the past we done it's like actually physically going to the events, right? And nowadays we actually a lot of networking done like consistently on Facebook,
Of
Twitter,
course.
Instagram. Do you think the social media is taking over? It's just still a part and being actually physically at the events, meeting people in flash, like we're meeting you today, is important.
Well, I would say that social media is 90% of it. That's how people are going to reference you. That's how people are going to look you up. That's how people are going to find your work. But you actually have to physically go out there. Because I've noticed when you do the legwork, you get the money. When you don't do the legwork and you're just sitting behind a screen, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to book something. So when I speak to someone face to face and I sit down and they see that I mean business, they see who I am, they see what I'm representing, for them it releases this urgency to work with me. I do it old school. That's what I like to say. I'm not the person behind the screen. I like to meet you face to face. I have consultations face to face. And so, yeah, social media might be important of it, like very important part of it, but getting out there and meeting people and networking and being physically there is what's really going to actually book you the gig.
Remind me, what was the second question that we planned in the discussion? Let's take a look at
Yes.
the notes. We didn't set up the teleprompters yet, so we're doing this as a test.
Of course.
Then-
Okay, so how do you build a brand?
okay. Now that you question, I will repeat after you on the mic. How do you build a brand? Okay.
Okay, so pretty much we'll start with like an artist development. Now that doesn't mean it's a music artist. It could be a model. It could be anything. Think Cardi B. Think Tyra Banks. Think Ellen DeGeneres. They're a brand. They live out a certain lifestyle. They set out they're a certain persona. They represent certain things that people consider iconic.
But those smaller brands don't have the abilities they have. They already have their popularity. That's why they are the brand. Like, how do you build a brand from scratch?
Right.
Like,
Well, that's the mentality you have to have. You
Okay.
have to look bigger into it. You can't just be you can't think small. It's got to be bigger. I knew when I started my brand exactly what I wanted to be and represent, and that was that female empowerment. You can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I exude off of me. That's building my brand. So like with the music artists, they come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm a really good rapper. I could do this." All right. Talent is 10% of it. Okay? It's the merchandising. It's the lifestyle. It's how you're going to gain an audience. You want people to, like I said, idolize you. And once you
Wow.
build that, then that's considered a brand. People will follow you. People will replicate what you're doing.
That brings me to our second question that we just missed. How do you find pay gigs for the talent? It's quite easy in New York to find a lot of trade gigs and TFP and stuff like of that nature. But when it starts coming to 100, 200, like thousands of dollars, it's not that easy to get paid.
No.
What is the key? And when you find those gigs, what do you do special that other artists cannot do on their own or others cannot? What's the differentiator factor?
You have to change your mentality. Money is not the goal. The goal is to get booked. So in the beginning, realize that you're not going to get paid for this. You have to go out there and do something. When I teach my dancers and my
For
models,
how long? You do it for a year, 2, 20?
Everybody's path is different.
After 20 years, if you're still not getting paid,
then you don't have. I don't. Then at that point, But like I had to do at least 3 years of unpaid work. But then I realized for every unpaid show that I did, I was gaining 3 to 4 paid gigs.
Okay, that's
So
a
you
good ratio.
yeah. So you have to choose wisely. Like I'm not just gonna do anything for free. So like I have music artists that technically may not be able to pay for my services right away. So what I'll do is I'll sit down, we'll do a couple complimentary gigs, but I'll make sure that the gigs are aligning that I can benefit from it. So like, all right, so we have this small venue in Long Island called Revolution, and some celebrities come there, but it's not too big, and it's an awesome venue because it brings up a lot of up and coming talent. Once in a while, I'd say about once every 6 months, we do a free gig there.
Uh-huh.
But the moment my girls go on stage, from the moment I get off, I have about 20 business cards. I booked 5 gigs, and I know that I'm about to get 15 more. So, yeah, I mean, money is not the goal here. The goal is to build your credibility so you can gain a revenue.
Tiffany, if folks by now think that you're pretty awesome and they would like to reach out to you, what is your social media, how they can reach out? Do you have like Instagram, Facebook page? Like
Yes. So on Facebook, we're Trademark Talent NY. On Instagram, we are TM_Talent NY. And you can email us at trademarktalentny@gmail.com.
Thank you. Hold it.